Good evening, class. I am Attorney Shai. I am your instructor for Criminal Law Book 2. Our topic for today are the crimes against persons in authority and their agents. Okay, so for the past video lectures, I have discussed to you the crimes that are usually committed by public officials and public employees. Okay, so dun sa mga example ko doon sa past videos, usually ang nakakagawa ng krimen ay yung mga kapulisan natin, law enforcement agents natin against private individuals. Okay. Dito naman sa title na ito ng batas, sa provision na ito ng batas, baliktad naman. These are the crimes committed against persons in authority and agents of persons in authority who are public officials. Tama? Okay. So these crimes start under Article 148 of the Revised Penal Code, which defines and penalizes direct assault and then indirect assault. Tapos resistance and disobedience. Tapos, resistance or disobedience to summons issued by Congress and constitutional commissions. Okay. So, very timely yung topic natin. I think for the past few days, trending ang news regarding a police officer who charged direct assault against a female taxi driver. Tama? I don't know the specific facts, but if you know, let's see. We will study the elements of direct assault and you can interpret for yourself whether or not there is indeed direct assault. Okay. Ano pa? Yung Article 151. Okay, nandito yung non-wearing of face masks. Okay, maraming naputokan dyan sa Article 151 during the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, pati yung mga curfew. So let's see what acts constitute a violation of Article 148, direct assault, tapos yung mga non-wearing of face mask for resistance and disobedience. Okay. So, before we discuss these crimes, kailangan alam muna natin kung ano nga ba or kung sino nga ba ang persons in authority at ang agents of persons in authority. Tama? Kasi yun itong mga crimes na ito yung mga crimes na nakukommit mo against sa kanila. Okay, so, para hindi natin silang ma-disrespect, hindi natin makommit yung mga crimes under this title, alamin natin kung sino sila. Okay. So, mga kapatid, kindly get your codal and go to Article 152 of the Revised Penal Code. Okay. So, mga walang codal, search nyo lang. Article 152 of the Revised Penal Code. Okay. This article enumerates and defines who are persons in authority and who are agents of persons in authority. Okay, so basahin natin. Any person directly vested with the jurisdiction, whether as an individual or as a member of some court or government corporation, board, or commission, shall be deemed a person in authority. Okay. A barrio captain and a barangay chairman shall also be deemed a person in authority. Okay. Next. So, yun yung mga persons in authority. Okay. Next paragraph. A person who, by direct provision of the law, or by election, or by appointment by competent authority, is charged with the maintenance of public order and the protection and security of life and property, such as a barrio captain, barrio councilman, barrio policeman, and barangay leader, and any person who comes to the aid of a person in authority shall be deemed an agent of a person in authority. Sino pa? Okay. Teachers, professors, and persons charged with the provision of public or duly recognized private schools, colleges, and universities shall be deemed persons in authority. Okay. Also, lawyers are deemed persons in authority for purposes of direct assault. Okay. So, I'm a lawyer. I'm also a teacher. So, if you assaulted me, I can charge you for direct assault. Okay. So, those are the definitions or those are the persons in authority and agents of persons in authority. So, we go now to Article 148, which defines and penalizes the crime of direct assault. Article 148 of the Revised Penal Code, there are actually two acts, which are punished, The first act is punished as follows, Without public uprising, by employing force or intimidation for the attainment of the purposes enumerated in defining the crimes of rebellion and sedition. Okay. So this first act is not commonly committed. It is very rare to commit this first act. Okay. So, focus tayo dito sa pangalawa. Okay? Kasi ito yung mas parating nagagawa. Okay? The second act is without public uprising, by attacking, by employing force, or by seriously intimidating, or by seriously resisting any person in authority or his agent, while engaged in the performance of his duties, or on the occasion of such performance of duties. Okay. So, alam nyo na, ang style natin, enumerate natin isa-isa yung elements, tapos i-discuss natin. Okay. Element number 1. Offender makes an attack, employs force, makes a serious intimidation, or makes a serious resistance. Okay. So, pag sinabi nating attack, employs force, okay, meaning there is a physical contact. Tama? Okay, so, ako, sinampal ako, okay, sinikmuraan ako, okay, sinaksak ako, okay. There is physical contact. Okay, so yan yung element number 1. Ano pa? Serious intimidation. Okay. Pag sinabi nating serious intimidation, this goes to the mind of the person. Tinakot mo, paano, tinutukan mo ng baril, o kaya minura mo, okay, tinreten mo siya, okay. Those acts are constituting the first element, okay. So, yun yung element number 1. Okay. Element number 2. The person assaulted is a person in authority or his agent. Okay, so yung in-enumerate ko kanina under Article 152, tama? Okay? So, balikan yung Article 152, the person assaulted or the victim should be that enumerated under Article 152. So, yung lawyers, okay, teachers, okay, di ba? So, third element. At the time of the assault, the person in authority or his agent is engaged in the actual performance of his official duties, okay, or that he is assaulted by reason of the past performance of his duties. Sorry, okay. So, itong third element natin, okay, the person in authority or his agent is attacked, okay, by reason of his office or while engaged in the performance of his duties. Okay. Note that if the attack happens, okay, when the person in authority or his agent is engaged, okay, in the performance of his duties or while he is in office, okay, while he is in the premises exercising his duties, okay, the motive is not important. It is irrelevant. Okay, halimbawa, ako, judge ako, feeling. For example, I am a judge of the Regional Trial Court Branch 68. Okay, for example lang. Okay. Tapos, I am presiding over the hearings. Okay. Tapos, habang nag-dictate ako ng order ko, nandyan si Jose. Okay. Si Jose, bigla niya akong inatake, sinunggaban niya ako, tapos sinampal niya ako sa mukha, paulit-ulit. Okay. In that case, okay, because I was assaulted during the exercise of my functions as a judge and in my sala within the court premises, it is not important, okay, it is irrelevant, okay, that Jose might have attacked me because of my duties. Kasi I am in the actual performance of my duties as a judge. Okay. So, yun lang yung kailangan mong tignan. Okay. Nandun ako sa court, I am exercising my duties. So, kung inatake ba niya ako dahil judge ako, that is not important. Okay. Now, if for example, okay, I am a judge, nasa restaurant ako. Okay. Tapos, okay, nandun ulit si Jose. Tapos, habang kumakain ako sa restaurant, kinuha ni Jose yung baso. Tapos, sinabuyan niya ako ng tubig. Okay. In that case, I am not in the exercise or I am not within the court premises. Okay. Dahil doon, importanteng malaman kung ano ang motibo ni Jose. In that case, motive is important. It is important to know whether Jose attacked me by reason duties. Okay. Dapat ipakita na kaya ako inatake ni Jose doon sa restaurant ay dahil sa past performance ng aking duties as a judge. Okay. Baka nagdesisyon ako ng adverse sa kanya. Dahil doon sa decision ko na yon, kaya niya ako inatake. Okay. Important yon kasi at that moment, I was not exercising my duties. Okay, tama? Okay. Fourth element. Okay. The fourth element is that offender knows that the one he is assaulting is a person in authority or his agent in the exercise of his duties. Okay. So, in that example, okay, dapat alam ni Jose na ako ay judge. Okay? That I am a person in authority. Okay? Paano pag yung mga police? Okay? Of course, if the police officer is in uniform. Okay? Therefore, hindi na kailangang sabihin ng police na, ay, police ako. If you attack a police officer, okay, and the police officer is uniformed, obviously you know that he is a police officer. Okay? And that constitutes the fourth element of direct assault. Okay? The last element, there is no public uprising. Okay? Bakit importante itong last element na walang public uprising? Because if there is a public uprising, the act may constitute the acts of rebellion or sedition, as the case may be. Okay? So, those are the elements of direct assault. Ngayon, gagawa tayo ng mga scenarios, okay, para mas maintindihan natin, okay, yung direct assault, okay? So, mga kapatid, as usual, gagawa na naman tayo ng scenario para mas maintindihan nyo, mas maalala nyo yung direct assault. Maalala nyo, ito yung lumabas sa quiz. Okay. So, okay. I am a judge of RTC Branch 68, okay, in Lingayen, Pangasinan, for example. Okay. And I rendered a decision, okay, convicting Jose for the crime of robbery. Okay. Now, Jose appealed the decision. Inapila niya yung conviction niya. Okay. Pending appeal, tumakas si Jose, and he planned his revenge against me. Okay. He investigated, and nalaman niya that every Saturday, I go to Baguio, and I stay at my condo at Mega Tower. Because of that piece of information, pumunta siya doon sa Baguio ng Saturday. Tapos, inabangan niya ako sa condo ko. Binuksan niya yung condo ko, tapos inabangan niya ako doon. Okay. So, Sunday, Saturday morning, I went to Baguio City. Tapos, pagbukas ko ng pintuan ko, andun si Jose. Okay. Tapos, pinagsasaksak ako ni Jose 15 times. Okay. Hanggang sa mamatay na ako. Okay. So, question. What is the crime committed? Now, okay, so let's see the elements. Number 1, offender makes an attack, employs force, etc., etc. Okay, so, obviously, this element is present. Sinaksak ako ni Jose. Okay. Number 2, the person assaulted is a person in authority. Okay. I am a judge, meaning I am a person in authority. Number 3, at the time of the assault, the person in authority is assaulted in the actual performance of his duties, or he was assaulted by reason of his performance of duties. So, nung inatake ako ni Jose, I am not in the actual performance of my duties. Tama? Pero bakit niya ako inatake? Because of my past performance of duties. So, pasok. Okay. 4th, offender knows that the one he is assaulting is a person in authority or his agent. Okay. In this case, alam ni Jose na ako ay isang judge kasi ako yung nagdesisyon ng kaso niya. So, pasok ulit. Okay. Number 5, there is no public uprising. Okay. So, the crime committed is direct assault. Okay. Direct assault nga ba? Tama? Meron pang isa. Kasi di ba namatay ako? Tama? Okay. So, okay. Given the facts and circumstances, ano ang ipa-file? Direct assault with murder or homicide? Oh, criminal law 1. Okay. Direct assault with murder. Bakit? Ano yung aggravating circumstance? Oh, sagot. Alam nyo na yan. There is evident premeditation. Di ba pinagplanuhan niya akong patayin? Okay, yun yung aggravating circumstance that elevated the killing from homicide to murder. Tama? So sabihin nyo, attorney, paano po yung aggravating circumstance na disregard of rank? Okay, kasi kayo po ay a judge. Okay. The aggravating circumstance of disregard of rank, okay, etc. Those are actually absorbed, okay, in the crime of direct assault because necessarily, okay, it is a component of the crime kasi person in authority, okay? So, it is absorbed, okay? Tapos, pati yung age. For example, matanda na akong judge, senior citizen na ako, na judge. Okay? The age, okay, and rank are absorbed in the crime of direct assault. Okay? So, In that case, Jose is liable for direct assault with murder. Okay. Meron pang isa. He is also liable for the robbery na kinonvict ko siya. Di ba? Okay. So, marami na siyang liabilities. Tama? Okay. So, let's go now to another situation. Okay. Sa pang scenario. Okay. So, okay. Second scenario. Okay. Kunwari ako, okay, nagpa-midterm exams na ako sa inyo. Okay, dahil sa sobrang hirap ng midterm exams ko, as usual, okay, wala nang choice si Jose. Anong ginawa ni Jose? Okay, kumopya siya kay Everson. Okay, so, sabi ni Jose, kopya na nga lang ako kay Everson kasi matalino si Everson. Tama? Okay, so, during my exams, napansin ko na si Jose, kinokopya niya yung sagot ni Everson. Okay. Nainis ako kasi mali yung sagot ni Everson tapos yun yung kinokopya niya. Dapat kumopya siya doon kay Alberto kasi tama yung kay Alberto. So, pinatayo ko si Jose. Okay. Sabi ko, Jose, cheating is wrong. Tapos, pinagalitan ko si Jose sa klase. Napahiya siya. Okay. Sabi ko, only cheaters, okay, cheaters never win. Ganyan-ganyan. Okay. Bobo lang ang nangongopya. Okay, tamad. Okay. Dahil doon sa ginawa kong pamamahiya kay Jose, okay, kasi mali yung pinagkopyahan niya, okay, Jose felt embarrassed. Okay. Dahil dinibdib ni Jose yon, gusto niyang gumanti sa akin. Okay. So, the next day, pagpasok ko sa klase, anong ginawa ni Jose? Okay. Ikaw yung professor na mahiya sa akin. Okay, so, sinampal-sampal ako ni Jose. Okay. Dahil nakita yun ni Alberto, okay, anong ginawa ni Alberto? Siyempre, gusto niya ng plus points. Okay. Tinulungan niya ako. Okay. Hinihiwalay niya si Jose sa akin. Okay. Sinasangga niya yung pananakit ni Jose sa akin. Okay. Dahil tinulungan ako ni Alberto, si Jose, kay Alberto naman nagalit. So, anong ginawa ni Jose? Si Alberto naman ang pinagsasapak ni Jose. Okay. Question. Okay. What is the crime committed? Ano? What is the crime committed? Okay. Obviously, Jose is liable for direct assault. Okay. Against me. Okay. Tama? Oh, tama. All the elements are present as to me. Okay. So, na-discuss natin yan kanina. How about kay Alberto? What is the liability of Jose against or as to Alberto? Is it direct assault? Is it indirect assault? Ano? Okay. It is still direct assault. Okay. Kasi, di ba? Okay. A person who comes to the aid of a person in authority becomes his agent. Tama? So, the moment na tinulungan ako ni Alberto, okay, he comes to the aid of a person in authority. He becomes an agent. Okay. And in this case, direct assault is committed against a person in authority or his agent. Tama? So, there are two counts of direct assault. Okay. Direct assault as to me, direct assault as to Alberto. Yun ang liabilities ni Jose. Okay. So, Jose, ingat ka. Okay? Kasi, liable siya for direct assault against me and Alberto. Okay, direct assault lang ba? Okay, kanina, di ba? Direct assault with murder kasi napatay. Okay. In this case, okay, because of the pananampal, okay, and pananakit sa akin ni Jose, I suffered, sabihin na natin, injuries, okay, which required medical attention for more than 30 days. So, that is less serious physical injuries. Okay. Under the law, if death or serious or less serious physical injuries attended the direct assault, there is complexing. So, ang crime is direct assault with serious physical injuries, as to me. Okay? Kasi, yung injury ko, kailangang i-treat ng more than 30 days. Okay? So, what if kay Alberto? Okay? Dahil yung lakas ni Jose, naubos na sa akin, puro mahihina na lang yung naibigay niyang suntok kay Alberto. Si Alberto, sabihin na natin, 4 days lang, okay, yung paggaling ng mga natamo niya na injuries. Okay. In that case, papailan pa ba ng direct assault with slight physical injuries? Ano? Okay. Ano? Under the law, okay, if it is an agent of a person in authority, okay, and it is a slight injury, okay, you cannot complex it anymore because the slight physical injury is already absorbed, okay? Absorbed na siya doon sa direct assault. So, as to Alberto, who is an agent of a person in authority, tapos slight physical injuries lang, ang maipafile lang ay direct assault. As to sa akin, na person in authority at serious physical injuries, ang maipafile sa akin ay direct assault with serious physical injuries. So, under the law, there are actually two types of assault. Okay? Simple assault or qualified assault. Okay? If the circumstances are as follows, it is considered as a qualified assault. Okay? Number one, if the accused, okay, lays hand upon a victim who is a person in authority. Okay. So, parang yung example ko kanina, ako, person in authority ako, tapos sinampal ako. Okay. That is a qualifying circumstance. So, qualified assault yon. Another, when the offender himself or the accused himself is also a public officer or a public employee. And another is if the assault is committed with the use of a weapon. Okay. So, if those three circumstances are present, okay, the assault is qualified. So, qualifying circumstances sila, the penalty is a little bit higher from that of a simple assault. Of course, because of the circumstance, it is considered as a hostile act. Okay? So, meron pa bang importante sa there? I think wala na. Okay, so let's now continue our discussion with indirect assault. Okay? Because the principles, the concepts are almost the same. Okay? With that of direct assault, diretso na lang natin. Okay? Para wala nang disruption. Okay. So, now, we have discussed direct assault and I have already enumerated, okay, the persons in authority and the agents of a person in authority. Okay. Indirect assault, okay, the person assaulted is a person in authority or an agent of a person in authority. Okay. In indirect assault under Article 149 of the Revised Penal Code, okay, the person assaulted is an agent of a person in authority. And a third person comes to the aid of that agent of a person in authority. Okay. In that case, as to the agent of the person in authority, there is direct assault. As to the third person who comes to her aid, there is indirect assault. Okay. Nagawa tayong senaryo, pero explain ko muna. Pag sinabi natin indirect assault, okay, this only happens if there is direct assault. Okay. Nangyayari lang ang indirect assault kapag may direct assault. Okay. Pero yung direct assault na tinutukoy dito ay direct assault against an agent of a person in authority. Okay, bakit? Kasi, di ba yung example ko kanina? Okay, ako teacher, tapos tinulungan ako ni Alberto. Ako ay person in authority at si Alberto ay agent of person in authority. Pero parehong direct assault yung charge. Okay? Parehong direct assault yung charge as to me, a person in authority, and Alberto, who is an agent of a person in authority. Kasi yung tinulungan niya, ako, na tinulungan ni Alberto ay isang person in authority. Yun ang scenario sa Article 148. Sa Article 149, ang scenario dito, ang tinulungan ay isang agent of a person in authority. So, for example, doon sa una-una kong example, palitan natin ng konti. Sa halip na teacher, gagawin kong policeman. Okay? Kasi ang policeman is an agent of a person in authority. Policeman ako, inassault ako, tapos si Alberto tumulong sa akin. In that case, direct assault as to sa akin, kasi ako ay isang agent of a person in authority, at as to Alberto na tumulong sa agent of a person in authority, yung sa kanya ay indirect assault. Okay? Nagagets ba natin? So, last scenario, okay, before we wrap things up. Okay. So, for example, Everson is a police officer. Okay, as a police officer, inaresto niya si Wendell. Okay. So, pinunsasan ni Everson si Wendell, tapos sinasakay niya sa police car. Okay. Tapos nahihirapan siyang dalhin si Everson sa police car kasi nagpupumiglas, okay, si Wendell. Okay. Nakita ni Alberto ngayon yung predicament, okay, ni Everson. So, ang ginawa ni Alberto, tinulungan niya, okay, si police officer Everson na maisakay si Wendell. Kinuha niya sa paa. Okay. Tapos kinaladkad niya papunta sa police car. Anong ginawa ni Wendell? Okay, sinipa niya. Okay, sinipa niya si Alberto. Okay, who is only a bystander. Okay, sinipa niya, tapos sinapak niya. Because of the actions of Wendell, okay, Alberto suffered, okay, physical injuries. Okay. Now, question. What is the liability of Wendell? Okay. Is Wendell liable for direct assault or indirect assault or for any other crimes? Okay. Under the law, okay, Wendell is only liable for serious or less serious physical injuries. Okay. He's not liable for direct assault or indirect assault. Why? Because at the time that Alberto helped, okay, police officer Everson, who is an agent of a person in authority, kasi siya ay policeman, so APIA siya, agent of a person in authority, police officer Everson is not under attack. Okay? Hindi naman inaatake ni Wendell si police officer Everson. Therefore, there is no indirect assault because there is no assault in the first place. Okay? Okay. So, we have already discussed direct assault and indirect assault. So, sana naman malinaw. Okay. But now, okay, we have to distinguish. Okay, I have to give you a scenario. Okay, when there is no direct assault. Okay, kapag walang attack. Okay, when the attack does not constitute, okay, assault. Okay, first scenario. Okay, if both the victims, okay, and the accused, okay, are both persons in authority or agents of a person in authority. Okay. In that case, okay, naalala niyo yung sa balita, yung mag-asawang police, okay, okay, tapos nagbarilan sila, okay. In that case, there are both agents of persons in authority, okay, meaning then that the attack will not constitute, okay, as assault, okay, contemplated under Article 148 and 149 of the Revised Penal Code. What else? Okay. For example, okay, there is a fight, okay, between the incumbent mayor and the acting mayor as to who should occupy the office. In that case, there are both persons in authority. So, wala din yon. Okay. Ano pa? NBI agents versus police officers. Okay. Kapag nag-away ang NBI at police officers as to who shall have custody over a person. Okay. Hindi pwedeng assault yung isa't isa. Okay. Kailan pa? Okay. There is also no direct assault if if the person in authority or his agent acted in abuse or in excess of his authority. Okay. Kailan pa? Another example is if the assault was by reason of purely personal matters. So, kapag yung tatlong yon, kapag both of them are persons in authority or agents of persons in authority, okay, or if they acted in abuse of their authority, or if the matter contains or pertains only to purely personal matters, the attack does not constitute as an assault. Okay. So, what else? Okay. I think that's all for direct assault and indirect assault. Okay. So, if you have more questions, you can contact your class presidents. And also, to those who have weak internet connection, yung mga mabagal po ang internet, you can get a copy of the videos to your class president. I would be very willing to meet you, to give you a copy of the videos. Okay, just prepare a flash drive. Okay? Good night, everybody.